versus Wade happened under that conservative majority, limits on affirmative action, broad immunity for presidential acts as well. It is a dynamic that was so critical on the campaign trail back in 2015. I'm sure that Kelly and Chris remember you would go to these events and you heard over and over and over again at the time. He has, and the Republican majorities in Congress that they have as well. I think it's worth calling on something that Howard just said, which is that he is the first to enter the oath of office and to have been given immunity for all official acts. That is hugely significant. It was immunity from criminal prosecution. It was significant because, of course, it was legendary indictments because it raises questions about the extent of his power, how we see it test that. Once he views the presidency as expansion, and so he will view his official acts to be broad.
The music, again, from the band of the United States Marines.
You had to make up a new gig.
The Marine Corps Band is celebrating parts of history and traditional music that tell us the story of the United States. And we will hear some well-known tunes later on, which will lead us to the singing of the national anthem and also those most closely associated with America's story. The officers with the gold ropes on their shoulder are all the presidential aides de camp who have played their part in making sure that the many guests and groups of guests have made their way here on time and taken their seats. And they are moving around, making sure that everything is ready for
how long this goes.
The start of the processions into the rotunda, which will be each introduced. And the front row there for family members. And the cabinet have taken their positions behind those of the chief executives of the principal businesses that have been supporting President-elect Trump. Processions will now be introduced.
Ladies and gentlemen, former vice presidents, the Honorable Dan Quayle, accompanied by Mrs. Marilyn Quayle, and the Honorable Michael Pence.
Respect being given to former vice presidents. We saw earlier on former Vice President Pence making his way through the crypt below this rotunda. They will now take position before the former presidents join the assembly.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 42nd President of the United States, the Honorable William J. Clinton, accompanied by the Honorable Hillary Rodham Clinton.
And moving on to President Bush and his wife, Laura Bush.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 43rd President of the United States, the Honorable George W. Bush, accompanied by Mrs. Laura Bush.
Rather interestingly, the fanfares that are being played for each of these former presidents are of British traditions and evolved to mark the arrival of British kings and queens. So each of them receiving different welcomes and degrees of excitement as the final of the former presidents, President Barack Obama.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 44th President of the United States, the Honorable Barack H. Obama.
And it was only a short time ago that these former presidents were gathered at the National Cathedral of Washington to say farewell at the state funeral of President Jimmy Carter. All now stand for the arrival shortly of the head of state.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Chief Justice of the United States, the Honorable John G. Roberts, Jr., and the Associate Justices of the Supreme Court of the United States.
With trumpet and fanfare, each of the key teams who form part of the Constitution we are seeing gathered together here for this inauguration come forward. A hush in the rotunda all prepared now to see this peaceful exchange of power set by the Constitution of the United States. And through the
Tiffany
Correct.
Trump and
Come
Barron
forward.
Trump.
meanwhile inside, the family come in. For the family, it is a return to a life that they came to know well in the first term of President Trump, and preparing now for that second term of 4 years, which starts today and will go on until the 20th of January 2028.